quickly jump on. So we need to think about this in other situations. We need to think about this when we're using gerund forms of words. For example, poner is put, and if I wanted to say I'm putting my pen on the table, we would spell that with a double T, wouldn't we? Oh, because we want one to short sound, putting. But if I was to take one of those away, and this I works the same way as this E, and it can change the length of that vowel and make it into the long sounds. Puting. Now, puting is not a word. But computing is. And often, Spanish speakers, when they're learning English, will say computer, and they will pronounce all of the sounds as if it was Spanish, because you haven't been taught this rule. And it surprises me, because we learned this rule when we were about 5-6 years old, or I learnt this rule when I was about 5 or 6 years old, and it underpins so many different rules and little things that you have to think about when you're using the English language. For example, I'll add another one in there, when we use the comparative rule, comparatives and superlatives, but let's focus on the comparative, and we'll go backwards. So if you have an adjective with 2 syllables that doesn't end in Y, or more syllables in that adjective, what we do to make it into a comparative is we put more beforehand. That's fine. And if we had the word happy or pretty or ugly, we just take away that Y and it becomes happier. Fine. Now let's look at 1 syllable adjectives. Here we say, okay, add ER to the comparative. Yeah, add ER. Let's start here. Tall, taller, fine. Fast, faster, fine. Big, add ER. If we were to add ER and not another G, that would be biger, like tiger. And we need another G. And what you're taught at school, they say this, they say if it was vowel, consonant, put another consonant. Okay? Vowel, consonant, put another consonant. Makes sense. Bigger. Done. What about here? Vowel, consonant, put another consonant if we're making it into the comparative. That would be incorrect. And there's a reason. We can apply this rule and think about it. Slow. Oh. That vowel is already long. Slow. So, it doesn't matter. So many times I see B2, C1 level students adding this consonant here because I'm not familiar with this underpinning rule. There are exceptions. I'll explain some exceptions as we go on. I often works the same way in the middle of a longer word. Yeah, we don't often get I at the end, but in the middle it can also affect that vowel consonant I kind of situation to make the vowel longer. But crazily, Y works a similar way, but at the end of words. So let's think of some B2 level type adjectives to illustrate the point of Y. Here, double S would mean that this vowel is short. That's bossy. Mandon. Here, this Y is affecting this vowel and making it longer. That would be cozy. O, cozy. O, short, bossy. Because of this is able to jump across an effect. Here, a double consonant would stop that. Here, this Y is affecting that vowel there and making it into the longer sound, which is I, tiny. Whereas here, the double consonant means that this Y can't affect this vowel here, and so this is E, tinny, tinny. Now tin is a material, a metal which is hojalata, and tinny is often referring to sound. If there's a sound quality that has no bass or treble, no depth to it, we can describe it as being tinny, a tin can sound. Slimy, like that crazy gooey material that children play with, or slimy as in baboso, bad Spanish, but you can correct it for me. Whereas here, this I is short, will be skinny, flaco. So here it is again, this kind of crazy, unusual way that vowels are affected. And it's because when the Romans conquered the British Isles many moons ago, they encountered on this strange island so many different peoples with different languages and sounds and place names and tools. They had no way of writing down the length of these vowels, so they started to introduce this way of changing the Latin a, e, I, o sounds. I'll just give you a quick bonus point before I go on to exceptions. Another thing that we learn at school, which it seems strange that you don't do it this way in the education systems in Spain, is we learn the phonetic alphabet. So of course we learn A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But before that, or as you start to learn to write and read, more reading, you learn A, B, K, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, Y, Z. I'll do that for you again. A, B, K, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, Y, Z. The sounds, the phonetic sounds. A, apple. B, banana. K, cat. D, dog, etc. And it seems to be lacking this type of basic learning in the school system here. Maybe I'm wrong. However, I have taught a lot of primary school teachers, English teachers.